Heidi ho there friends, Bobby here today. Hey folks, today this video is going to be on filling in some cracks on your brick porch, okay? If you have some bricks that are actually loose and you need to reset them, I'm going to refer you to a video that I posted a couple years ago, and the link will be the first link down below in the description. So let's get this thing started. Okay guys, first of all, this set of steps here is probably about 50 years old. Now, about 7 years ago, I was actually over here doing some work over here at this house, and this row of bricks right here, about 8 or 9 bricks here, I actually reset these using this method that I do 7 years ago. And all this stuff here is still intact, but if you look over here where we didn't set a brick, since then some of the mortar has loosened up, and I've dug some of this out already today because we're going to fill it in with some fresh mortar. Right up here, as you can see, there's a little crack. It actually was just a little pinhole, and I dug around in there and we got some of the mortar knocked out of that. We're going to fill that in today. I'm going to show you how to do that, and actually right down here you can see there's mortar missing here. I knocked a little bit of it out, and I'm simply going to show you how to fill in cracks today. And once again, if you want to use my method on resetting the bricks, refer to the video down below. Okay, real quick here guys, I saved this last one here. This was just a pinhole, okay, and I stuck the screwdriver down there and I could feel around that the opening was a little bit bigger in there. So take a larger screwdriver and a hammer and just kind of chisel around, make yourself a little opening here if you can, so that you can fill that void down in there with as much mortar as you possibly can. Actually, our hole's really not that bad, so we're just going to try to squeeze some down in that hole right there. We're not going to really hog it out any worse than that. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a 5-gallon bucket here, and we have a bag of mortar mix. Okay, you can buy this at your home improvement store, and this is basically just Portland cement and sand. Okay, no rock. This is what you want to use. Okay, this is for like laying brick. And it's real sandy, and you know, there's no rock or anything in it, so it's real. Let me pull some of it out here and you can see what it looks like. Let me just pull some trowelfuls of it here. You see it's kind of sandy, but it's got the mortar in it. Okay, that's the kind you want. And we're going to go ahead and put a couple trowelfuls of this into our bucket, because we're not going to need a whole lot here. Okay, so we're going to put both of these in here, and then we'll add a little bit of water. Okay, after we have our cement mix in our bucket here, we're going to take we just have water in this jug here. We're going to add a little bit of water, and then we're going to just take a wooden stick and we're going to stir this around till we get the right consistency. Now if you're mixing up a lot guys, and if you want to, you can use like a paint stirrer on a drill and you can whip this up a little faster, but no more than what we're using here today. We're just going to stir it up with a stick until we get it right. Alright guys, I've done this on purpose just to show you something here, okay? You see how soupy that is? That is way too soupy, okay? And all you have to do, don't be afraid if you get it a little too soupy, all you gotta do is add a little bit more mix to it, okay? Until we get it the right consistency. So I'm gonna add some more, keep mixing, and I'll show you the consistency that this needs to be before you start filling in these cracks. Okay, I think I about got the consistency that I wanted. See, when you got it in the bucket, you can lean the bucket over, and it does move a little bit, but not a whole lot. Not like a bowl of soup. And you can stick your stir stick in there and turn it sideways, and it still falls off a little bit. That's about right for filling these cracks. Now, you'll notice in my next video, the one I'm going to refer you to, when you're actually setting bricks, you'll actually mix it a little bit firmer than this right here. But for setting these, filling in these cracks, this is going to be perfect. So let's get started. Okay, just a couple tips here before I get started. If I have several cracks to fill on a set of steps, usually I'll start at the top and work my way down. And I'll have me a piece of cardboard, just something laying on the step below to kind of catch any excess mortar that I might not want on the steps. So let's go ahead and reach down in here. We're going to grab us a little bit of this mortar, and we're going to start filling in this crack right here, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and see if we can just work it on down in there. Back and forth, back and forth. We're working in a crack there. Back and forth. See if you can squeeze that stuff on in there. Don't worry about the excess that's getting on the brick, because I'm going to show you in a little bit how you can clean all that off to where you'll never notice it. now with a little bit of our excess, we'll go over here to our other hole here, and we'll go ahead and fill it in as well. And we'll add a little bit more of this. Keep working it, pack it down in there the best you can, okay? And then we're simply going to scrape off the excess, put it back in the bucket. Okay guys, here is the secret to making this look like a professional done it instead of an amateur like me, okay? I have a pail of water and I have a grout sponge, okay? Dip it in the water and go ahead and squeeze as much of that water out of that grout sponge as you possibly can, okay? And what we're going to do is just take the sponge and lightly start wiping over these areas, okay? And that's going to take off all the excess mortar. You can go in a circular motion, straight lines, it don't really matter. And see the mortar that's already on the sponge? Flip the sponge over and you can start wiping the other way. Over here where we really didn't want any at all, you can wipe a little harder if you need be, okay? Now we're gonna go over this another time or two, and this will be actually ready to move on down to the next step. Now here's the secret. Make sure you wring the sponge out really good, okay? Don't try to take too much off. If you get the sponge too wet, you'll actually add a lot of excess water to the mortar that you just put in there, and it'll wash the mortar away from the sand, and then you'll have a weak joint, okay? So I'm gonna continue on, and we will show you how we finish this up and move on to the next set of joints. Okay, after we've rinsed our sponge really good again, we're gonna go right back over this area one more time, and it should be good after that. Wipe these bricks the best we can, okay? That's gonna look really good. I'm gonna flip it over right here. Wipe it out of the ones that we really didn't intend on putting them in anyway. And friends, when that dries, that's gonna look good, okay? It's gonna look like these bricks down here that I done 7 years ago. Now you will probably have a light haze on the bricks for a few days, okay? And after it sits for a good 48 hours or so, you can take your pressure washer and you can hit it and knock that haze off of there, or you can just wait for the natural weather, that the rain and everything, to just kind of wash that little bit of haze off of there. But guys, that's how we fill in some cracks. Seems to be working pretty good for me. Make sure you check out that video I'll put down below if you actually want to set some bricks yourself. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching the video, and come back and see us again. Bye-bye.